It was an emotional first half, to say the very least. The highest highs and the lowest lows were felt through that game by both sides. Probably more of a breath of relief at the very end for Mousesports, rather than being truly proud of what they achieved, because that was a very close and very tense game for them. It came down to the last round.
Yeah, incredibly close game. And like they talked about it on the desk, we talked about it here. Singularity, they want to go home with a feeling of they've done something.
Yep.
Of course, they've done something now, but now they're looking back at this. Oh, we were so close to taking a map.
Yeah, something like that. And that upper hit, we were discussing it during the break, like, did you need to go for that upper hit? You know, hindsight 2020, of course, but still. A great first map. A lot of, I guess, the theory craft being that really that was their big opportunity to actually push this series. The last two maps, Mirage and Cobble, sit very well beside Mousesports, so you've got to feel the challenge gets even tougher.
Yeah, and Mirage, as we talked about also in the break, like this is of course like Mousesports, almost home territory here. But again, like this is not a bad map for Singularity either. They played some decent teams on it. Like I remember back in the day when I kickstarted my casting career again, like after of course my big hiatus, I casted Powerland, and then they got 13 rounds in the opening match against Dignitas, who are of course North now, and I was like, okay, this team, of course it was a bit of a different lineup back then, but still, like this is a map that have kept on with Singularity as a team, as an organization for a long time, and they're doing actually quite well on it. But the question is it going to be enough to tackle Mousesports?
Yeah, Mousesports and their aggression again. I go back to talking about Dennis, and he's not only a highlight player in game, but the way he approaches some of the rounds, it's hard to miss. It's the aggression up mid on the CT side. They have a very all-encompassing playstyle on this sort of map. Their mid control is phenomenal. It's very hard to handle them, especially if one of the AWPers goes off. If Oscar's a good game, you know you're on for a treat. If Chris J starts, bringing out the scout, you're in trouble. There's a lot of factors that work very well for Mousesports here. But Singularity, they are the dark horse. They have, I guess at this point, not that much pressure on them. It's like we come into this, we aren't expected to win, but let's see if we can achieve anything else. So we've got two smokes here coming in for Singularity. I'm hoping we see like a nice A piece. Yep. It looks like, I'm kind of curious where Consoles goes. So we've got the jungle smoke coming through, I'm pretty sure, and a lot of pressure to follow. Rob's being forced away, and it's retake time instantly for Mousesports. That site is under control. That's a really nice smoke there.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about that more when we hit the end of the round. Right now, they're just boosting through CT, and this is working perfectly. This is something that they're prepared. I actually remember talking to them about this interesting way of taking the A side, but right now, there's still some action to be had. Lau, Dennis, and Chris J still alive. They have a kill on Dennis, 2 flashbangs. They can easily mount a retake here, and Dennis is on the bomb site right now.
It's the fact that Singularity pushed to CT I quite like, but I don't like the way that everyone's there. Again, it's all situational. We'll see how Mousesports plays back in, but they're even confused. Why are there 4 players sitting in CT? One flash goes in, it catches a few, but not all 4. Oh, lol! It's beautiful, but it's only 2. It's the last second, but it doesn't matter if the kill comes in. Dennis can't do anything. He's going to try and run away, but there's also no time for that. Singularity hold on by the skin of their teeth. 1 second, and lol almost did it all himself. But what a round. I don't know what it is with Danes when they come into Mirage, but their pistols on the T side are always beautiful. Even Dignitas, when they first started playing, so those, the nades stacked towards CT, always very creative, and that's their step back in now.
So this kind of like highway push, and highway not in the sense of a call out on a spot, but actually just going on the highway and just running straight through, smoking off 2 positions, and then going straight into CT is something that is not being utilized a lot, because when you're coming in with the Glocks, you want to be moving, you don't want to be standing in one place taking an aim duel against a USP. And if you just push in 5 people towards that CT spawn, and you can all pressure that one guy, then you take away his ability to stay there and do aim duels, and the other positions are smoked off. So I actually really like this kind of a T-pistol round strat here on Mirage, and it works out for them in the end. Lal did his very best to do something to counter it, but now Chris J on the scout. Let's see if you can get some spicy shots off him.
He is a spicy gamer, but a very passive approach from Singularity, and it's a good way to play out these rounds, just in case there's any of that kind of slow aggression throughout the map. Just holding at the top of mid, they can wrap towards middle now, kind of like closing themselves. It does play well into the hands of like the Deagle Scout combo, which is a bit of a threat on board, but they should be able to kind of, I guess, go past this with utility, with good smokes, good flashes. And actually, it's more what LOL, again, is going to be able to do. He's playing up close on B. He's an early warning system. If he gets a frag here, oh, LOL, that's sublime. And a full! LOL is alive and kicking. 3 kills on B. Backs away, readjusts. And Singularity just got completely shattered.
I don't believe my eyes right now. That was absolutely insane. Right now, of course, Rixo is going to try his best, but there's no chance he can close this one. Lal just changed the game with that round there and those pistols. And Chris J comes in with the end. He tries to go for it, and That has to be so frustrating for Singularity because you win the pistol round, you feel like you're okay, and then this happens.
Whoa. It's the third that I just don't believe. I thought the first round when he got those 2 kills, I was like, all right, Lol's feeling a game here, all right. But yeah, that's beastly play. And Singularity, that's just like, come on, like, give us a break. We're doing everything theoretically right. And there's the quick play towards underpass. I'm guessing that's Dennis.
Have to check it.
Yeah, of course it's Dennis. Has he got an MP9 and is he going underpass? Probably Dennis. All right, Lol. Smoke goes in. Buys time now for Dennis to start approaching even further if he fancies it. And here he comes. The smoke comes in. Lol backs away, falls off this. He doesn't want to give it up. And now Dennis, quick on the heels. Lol just needs to stay alive, but he falls. And now Dennis, cautious if he wants to push for this or not. He's going to have a great deal of play back into it, but he gets spotted out. That's a nice bit of awareness from Rixo, but he can't capitalize on anything more than that, Dennis. He will fall eventually, but it's a 3v3. The bomb's planted. Singularity have the site under wraps. The double smoke towards short played in well. And now Luki does himself a rifle. Not the perfect connection, but that's the shot you want.
Really nice play from Luki. Christian coming in with the scout though. Very low HP remaining. Insta 1v2 right now. The bomb is planted. He has to kill the diffuser, but he's not going to be able to. Oscar gets it and perhaps should have played with a bit more waiting style there with the Tech 9. Of course, you can always say that after the round is done. It's very hard to place yourself in the position of the player, but probably a bit more passive style there would have worked.
And to be fair, from the word go, it felt that Mousesports were very aware of what was coming their way. We do again have the MP9 out.
Like it.
Lots of free farm coming in. Singularity just getting pinched. They made the best of a bad situation, and Oscar not going to hit the first. Dennis has a little look, and mid control goes over to Singularity for now. At least the top of mid. Ooh. That's the shot you want to be thinking about, though.
Really nice shot from Luki, opening up with the deagle, now going aggressive, trying to edge out any angles onto short. And once again, the MP9 defensive close range to a smoke is something that I really like, and Lal has the perfect position up in B apartments right now. And against, he knows he's going to be against pistols here. And it doesn't matter if it's deagles or anything else, the MP9 close range is just going to eat it. Okay, I take that back. Logic doesn't apply anymore.
No, it was traded out in the end, so it's not like it's spiraled towards the T side, and they don't really have too much map control as such, but they've still got the firepower and they've still got the men alive to actually do something with this. So they're all going to kind of group back towards B. Chris J's seen one. He's going to find Refresh, which might signify, okay, there might be more on the way, guys. Please, someone else come over towards B. Help me out here. No, he goes down. Insta's going to find him. What is this roundabout? Mousesports were on a decent buy here, and Oscar's missing every shot possible. That's not what you want to be seeing for him. Tech 9 to hand. He's looking to try and tip the scales back towards their favor. Desperate for this chance. He's going to... Oh my god, I thought, oh, there is the snap adjustment. You missed the easy ones and then you bang out that shot?
That is insane. I was about to say this was the terrible round for Mousesports. They were making so many individual mistakes, especially Laul up in that situation in the apartments. 99 out of 100 times he should have had that and even more. But this time it doesn't work. But lucky then Oscar misses a couple of shots and steps back into the game, gets the first one on the plant, hits that second guy straight in the head. Luki goes down and Robs comes in and mops up the third. So now 3-1. Full buy for both teams. AWP on Oscar, no AWP on the T side again. Once again, Rixo's left out. And here we go. Utility being thrown onto the A-bomb site, but no movement just yet.
No, the mollies have hindered everything. That's the problem. They've gone for the close smokes to try and keep those, I guess the vision limited. Chris J with a nice little
that's perfect.
Flash to come through. Molly's burning though. Chris J needs to move, just take the fight. He's gone for it. Nice timing. Oh, Chris, put on a show. 2 kills. Not too bad at all. Lol's going to see Luki as well, but Luki did at least find Robs in the meantime, so he's kept this competitive, but the problem is, again, limited step towards actual sights here and progression. They're so locked down in this sort of entrance area, they're finding it very hard to break past Tetris.
Nice shot there coming up from Refresh, taken out. Well, and flashbang and a molly. Oscar close range with the AWP. And one, of course, hiding on the side. That's perfect.
Dennis in the goblin box. What can you do? But this is very possible, and Molly's still on Refresh, but he wants to fight, and Dennis is just waiting for the opportunity. Oh, Dennis hits the shot you need to be seeing. That's the Dennis you need for Mousesports, and they finally establish a lead here at 4-1. But yeah, this is the play from Chris. That shot following up, and you got to feel, I almost thought he had that third there. But there was so much utility poured in towards Tetris and towards the push-up ramp. It was so hard for Singularity to get out. You felt that, I'm not sure was it Refresh who came through from jungle? He was actually able to get a couple of kills. That started to look good. But still, that came right down to the very end of it. Now again, the money's gone from Singularity.
Despite them being behind 1 to 4 right now. I feel like Singularity have played a couple of good rounds, but they missed out on the last 10% every single time. Because it always comes down to either individual mistake or a 1v1 or something like that. And of course it's great if you're in the lead and winning those, but if you're behind and you just feel like we lost so many rounds on small things that can get in your mind, and that's once again where the smaller teams, the more inexperienced teams are going to struggle with that. And I don't hope this is going to become a bigger problem for Singularity going on in this game. I hope they can bounce back and reset themselves mentally. Right now, of course, only on pistols, not expecting a lot from this round. We have seen them do Magic Deagle work so far in this game, but I don't think it's going to be enough to grab a round win here. Oscar getting one, Dennis holding mid control aggressively, and I'm having a hard time seeing where Singularity could go and open up this round, because as we see right now, there's still 2 players on that B side, and Lyle is here as well, and he's on point.
Yeah, he got caught out once. He was with the MP9, wasn't it, against the Deagle, but yeah, it looks like Mousesports, the more they get the feel of this game, the more they start playing their own game and not playing to the level of the opponents as much, you've got to feel they'll just start grinding away these rounds. A 5-1 is quite a daunting scoreline. Considering the big strong point I felt for Singularity in the games we've seen them was always their T-sides. Yeah. That's always been where I've been very impressed with them. They've shown a lot of potential there. If they aren't able to keep that performance up, especially in Mirage, you know you're in struggle town, basically. It gets really, really tricky for them from that point onwards. I don't know what the silver lining here is for them, if it's the mental approach, if they're just finally getting a little burnt out. Again, though, if they can get this, a gun round on the board, they strip away some of the cash from Mousesports, they make an impression, they finally get that big win, then you might be on for something. But, ooh, lol, you're playing a dangerous game here. A fast cap play, a fast mid take from Singularity. I like it, but look at the response. Mousesports going towards ramp and console. Batman's in, but Batman can't do it all himself. He needed Robin with him, but no, he was all alone, and lol's already found 2 of his teammates. Insta is just trying to find anywhere he can make plays happen. But the problem being they're only down to 2 men again. They always seem to lose out in numbers here, and the bomb's in such a disastrous spot.
And it's so hard being in that 2v3. AST, you are the ones who have to make the space. The CTs can just hold back because they're 1 man up. And they still have 2 Molotovs. They still have 3 smokes. It's 3 flashbangs to work with for the terrorists. It's incredibly hard, this situation for them. Well, Oscar might give them that for free, but no, hits the close range op shot, and that's just Oscar things. Yeah, I was about to say that is not a good peek from Oscar, but then I forgot it's Oscar, so he doesn't actually care and just banks it out.
Rixo, you fancy saving that one, mate? I've only got what, like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Just run away, just ignore it. Pretend this round didn't happen. Oof. A rough start here for Singularity on Mirage, and I think definitely. This is what we talk about win conditions. If they came in with more confidence picking up the first map, you could have maybe seen something a little different. Maybe you could imagine a world where it could happen, but this gets a little bit tougher to kind of envision where the win conditions are, where the you see the windows of opportunity just closing. This one, the more you see Oscar going for confident plays like that, even if it's a very small thing that's normally an error, if he feels that he can get away with it, that's where the trouble builds. And the money was, pretty low actually at the end for Mousesports. It wasn't perfect, but they're fine now. And again, the money for Singularity is going to be constantly kind of that lower end of the stick at this point, but still.
And Rixo here. Save this. And the rest of the team can buy up around it, so it's not like they're going to have a terrible buy after this. They're going to be missing on some utility, but they're all going to get AKs, or at least they all have the opportunity to get it. So they have, once again, a chance to bring home a round. They haven't been very effective at that. Only 1 in the first 7. Let's see what they're going for.
I've been very impressed with Lol so far.
Yes.
To say. He's, on this team it's normally Oscar or Robs or, one of the, many names you can go to, but he's been great. Chris J, though, straight out, AWP in hand. And now I don't know if they're going to expect the follow-up, though. They've taken down 1 AWP on Chris J, so you might start wondering, where's Oscar gone? Quick smokes, quick pressure. B is under threat. 2 players here, and they're actually falling off it.
They're playing retake.
Oh, this is smart from Mousesports. They're falling away from it, or they thought it was going to be a quick A hit. I'm curious as to what they're expecting, because Lol might play back in. Lol, what is this sort of play? You go in on your own?
I thought they were playing retake. That's the only logical answer to that question, but then Lyle just dives in on his own. Makes no sense.
I don't get that. They could have committed to the retake. Even if they fell off that thing, it was an A, they could have then just gone, all right, screw it, just play retake, it's fine, let them get the bomb, we can just play back in. Now it's save time. That's big pressure from Singularity. That was a blisteringly hot hit towards B. Dennis, though, punishing Rixo. Sadly for Rixo, he's not really going here with the AWP. No. We haven't seen much from him.
That's the problem, because... And that's one thing that I note about certain old players, is that when you're on a specific level and you play against, like, tier 3, tier 4, maybe even some tier 2 teams, and you play really well with an AWP, but then you get faced up against top-level AWPers such as Oscar or Chris J, you're going to have a really bad time because you're not used to the fact that these players are some of the best with the weapon in the world. You can school like lower-tier players, like Rixo has done in his career, because he's actually not a bad AWP at all. But then when you face that opposition that you don't usually face in practice on officials, at LAN as well, it's so hard because there's so much pressure on you to get that opening frag with the AWP. And I think this is becoming a big problem for him.
Hopefully he breaks out of it. If he has a couple of rounds, you feel the confidence might build up. It seems like the quicker hits seem to be working for Singularity. You know, make a quick play, put some early pressure in, don't allow Mousesports to get comfortable. You can actually see something there. There's a genuine mistake from Lol to play back into that, but he might be the one to be put, again, under scrutiny here. Playing on B, pretty solo at the moment. There is a player on shore who can fall back. I think it's Chris J, so again, the double AWPs are there. And Mousesports very, very focused towards keeping mid-control. You can see 3 players basically playing towards this for now, but again, they can fall back to play the sides if they need to.
Yeah, Chris J, in a few seconds, he can smoke that off and then rotate and hold short, or not hold from short towards those B apartments. And I think that's the plan. Insta's going to be making a lot of noise in mid to keep that attention in mid so that Chris J doesn't rotate back instantly, but he's getting into position now.
Yeah, Chris J does not need to start considering the pressure play coming through, but they've got a whole connector for the short lurk that's coming in. Here we go. Let's see if Lol's got this one. He looks for the second. He gets the second. But he's only down to 2 bullets. He can't do any more than that. And now he has to depend on the others. But where is Chris J in all this? He's already gone down. That's a huge problem. Dennis, again, plays ahead of his teammates. They're going 1 by 1. Oscar, they're scratching his head going, where were you, my friend?
Actually, really nice. Something like, as we talked about Rixo, what he does instantly is that he actually recognizes that Laul is close range. Therefore, he knows, okay, there's going to be an AWP, and it's either going to be a market or it's going to be short.
Yep.
And he goes for the short peek first and actually wins the duel instantly against Chris J, who he was ready for that. He was ready and holding the angle. Rixo still comes out and wins it. And as you said, that has to give confidence to win a straight one-on-one AWP battle against an AWP on the opposite team. And there we go.
There it is. There it is. You can see it.
Yeah, the confidence.
Up.
You can literally see it in his playstyle.
But it could all fall apart here. If they go for the quick hit and they don't expect someone to be up close, Chris J used to play this sort of spot as well, so they might have that in the back of their minds, which could actually hinder Robs. But again, we'll find out. There's 4 players waiting for this A hit. 3 by a ramp, 1 towards Palace, and 1 playing back from mid right now. I'm wondering what the timing is they want to do on this one. And it's just a dry hit right now. Robs with a nice flash, almost the perfect over the top. It is going to isolate them over by Tetris, but actually no, he kind of second guesses a little bit here, and Chris J now left kind of playing off the back of it. Flashed up, forced away, all alone on A as well, bearing in mind no one else is here just yet. Finally someone gets towards CT, but again, the flashes are coming in thick and fast. He can see nothing.
See Lau does get the kill on console, tries to stray through 2v3, but Lucky on very low HP. 3 Molotovs remaining. They can pretty much just Molotov the bomb from here on out and they'll win the round. The question is, how Mousesports going to approach this? They have no, as I say that, they pick up a smoke. And that could be the saving grace for them, but they're going to utilize it to block out terrorist players instead.
It's now or never. You've got to go in the play with the late lurker around through connector. It's done. Oh, good luck, Oscar, getting out of this. Oh. Nicely done. Digging his way out of this grave with handfuls of dirt at this point. Just please let me keep hold of this. Oh, he's playing a dangerous game. They're going to think he's run away. Oh,
no, Oscar.
Oscar.
Okay.
Oscar. You're filthy and I like it. I like that. I like that a lot.
High-level calculations.
That was so sick. He just expected them to be like running away. Yeah. Well, like he basically baited it out. That was so nice.
One thing to note as well is that the terrorist player was so low he actually died from the bomb blast going away from Oscar. I'm not. If he had that one calculated out, I'm very impressed. But
he'd be a damn genius if he'd worked that one out. That would have been his 101st kill on that delightful knife of his. But again, a similar hit towards A, possibly about to build.
Yep.
They do only have that AWP left on Oscar. And where is Oscar right now? He's getting escorted over towards B. So kind of irrelevant to this factor. I doubt much is going to come from this. They do have armor with these pistols, but no utility at all. Very limited amounts of play, and there's like the full set the Singularity need. They've really built back into this game here.
Here we go. Smokes are raining down, and this should be the pretty much clear on A take. Robs is the only one nearby to do anything about it. They're using a lot of utility and getting this map control and getting this bomb site down. The flash is raining in. They're taking the duels right now. Not really liking it from Singularity, going straight out into the pistols instead of just not holding angles now that they have the site, but it's working out for them.
There's got to have to be some massive amount of kills coming back in. All right, so Oscar spotted 1, but Insta has Lol. Well, I was going to say under wraps, but Lol with a pistol, we know he's been able to do recently. And Oscar, again, it's going to be save time pretty soon. He's going to be having that in the back of the mind that, do I really want to commit through to this? No. And Rixo, the Goblin Box King now, takes over the title from Dennis. And Oscar, it's time to back off from this. He can take his time, and he might want to get a couple of kills on the way out. Still, got to be careful. Flash is coming through, finds refresh. Anyone else up for the next challenge? Oh, God. And now, look at this awareness. Beautifully done. If he'd hit that shot, it'd have been so nice. He does go down eventually, but he made a good fight of it.
Yeah, that's the thing about Oscar. Like, even though his entire team is dying off, he's still going to be able to grab frags because individually as an AWP, he's just so incredibly strong. And yeah, I'm gonna see on the replay, lovely play. But actually, technically, I like the idea from Singularity because they have utility to spare after that round, so they can try and flash him out. They mess up a bit with the flashbangs and the timings, but the idea in general is actually really nice to use that, like, over, like, that utility had extra aim. But here we go. Dennis, aggressive play, 1-for-1 trade. Rixo wins that one. Back on the AWP now.
It's not too bad, though. It feeds information, and they see the bomb in mid as well. Good flash coming over from Mousesports, allowing play to come in. And again, them to kind of play back into that mid control. They now have it once again in their hands, but the bomb and the team that they're up against isn't going there. They're going towards B. Christian's going to hear all these steps, so he knows what's coming. Goes anti-flash for a second, but no, he can face this one out. Deep smokes come in. Oh, he turns it, thinking it was a flash for a second, and that's enough. They normally do the double smoke, actually, to both sides of the pillars. This time, merely one. And now, Oscar finds console. It's just down to two of the Danes. Refresh and Rixo, the R&R combo, not relaxing this time. Rixo playing up to the smoke. Oh, it's a dangerous game. It's all on him. That's the shot you want to be thinking about. And now it's two more to go. Nade goes in. The second player coming through from Kitchen. He can't control it. Rops is the man to do it. The fuse comes out. Even without the kit, he'll be fine.
Yeah. And that's so hard when in an AWP in a 1v2, you just know you're going to be sandwiched at some point in the game. That's why he's going for the risky play there, going through the smoke, getting that frag. Instantly tries to go after the guy on short as well, but doesn't have time. Oscar once again with a masterclass of a round here, taking out console. Just holding that angle, making sure that you can take out all the players. Look at that. Pixel perfect. Good stuff. So keeping back their lead, retaining a little bit of what they had. Considering the start they built up and it was looking very dominant, very one-sided, Singularity have made this look like, again, a respectable scoreline. I worry for their CT side. Definitely in the back of my mind there, it's not been the most proficient for them out of all of the way they played, but still. Looks like, again, the A hit's coming through. Got the CT smoke being lined up. Not that one, the one prior, but we'll see what they go for on this. Two players to burst through from Palace. And actually only one towards A thus far. So an interesting setup here. It's literally just Rops playing this, and occasionally a player will come through from sort of jungle. It might be LOL, occasionally being over there. It doesn't seem to matter. Everyone seems to play wherever they want. But still, Singularity. Very passive setup once again.
Yeah.
Dennis without any utility, Oscar only with one flashbang left. Robs without any smoke or molly.
Oh, Robs, look at this position. The Goblin boxes could be great again. They are. And he can't find any more, but information are plenty. He's seen it all now. Oscar trying to play above that smoke, but look at actually want to find Dennis. Now Oscar's in trouble. He's down to 17 HP. A nade, anything. A Tech 9 certainly will do the job of it. Insta there, traded out effectively by LOL, but you're in a 2v3. The bomb's planted. Christian needs to work some magic pretty soon. And oh my word, if only you knew. Dan M is quivering at the sight of that. And now Console waits patiently in connector. If he hears a sound, if they commit too far, a scope gets made. Oh, Chris J, that's an opportunity. And now the 2v2.
An opportunity indeed. And now Lukey 1v1 with the AWP. Chris J wins it out. Double kill for him.
That was so sick. Chris J had to hit the shot.
Wow.
He does it. So well played, and that's a hard fought for round by Mousesports. Considering how dire that looked, bomb planted, you had so many people dying left, right, and center. I was like, okay, well this could be a GG. But Chris J digging them out of this situation.
Yeah. And actually he gets the two frags there, but also keeps tabs and gives information on the third guy as well, allowing his teammate to get that frag. So really nice play from Chris J here. Actually forcing Singularity into a situation where they have a wonky buy. Refresh on an AK, the rest of the team on Tech 9s with some utility behind it. Everyone with armor still. So this is still a dangerous round. Mousesports cannot feel safe, but definitely not as good as a buy as they are used to have. Of course, what they're doing right now is they're going to be saving up for the last round, or at least trying to go something, maybe 4 AKs and a Tech 9 in the last round. Well, there we go. A push.
And look at the response from Mouse, though. They just fall back. That's the truth. They don't allow these Tech 9s to get to the range where they can actually cause real world Oscar's playing back in well. Robs does get called out, and they've lost out control towards jungle. That's a problem. That limits your ways to play back in towards this. We'll see if that actually really... Oh, God, you can wallbang that? All right. Fair enough. Dennis doesn't need too much of a go at that one. Console's going to take it away from him quickly, and they're struggling on this retake now. They're very dug in his Singularity. They're not allowing this one to slip away. Good flash towards CT. Refresh spots one. Doesn't see anyone else yet, though, but Rixo is there, played back in by Refresh. This is so nice. Really good play from Singularity. And time's run out. Chris J can't do anything. He can make it costly, he can make it awkward, but that doesn't really matter at this point. They've got the round on the board.
60 16 and 12 HP will be lowered down to 8 and 4. A well-placed nade in CT spawn would have killed them both, but they do survive. And so does some players on the Singularity side here with some weapons, so they're going to have a full buy for this last round here. Instead of just having 1 or 2 players on Tech 9s, I think actually all of them are going to be on AKs. They're switching around the weapons right now. And yeah, here we go. On the other side, Mousesports though. 3 players on UMPs. Some of them missing utility. No mollies either. This is a good chance for Singularity to get a 7 to 8 T-side half after a terrible start, let's be real.
Aggression towards ramp. Rob's there, just going to push himself up. A little bit of a new look as well for Mousesports. They haven't really tried the aggression yet, and I quite like that. They're obviously doing it in mid quite consistently, but not towards A. So, again, the A hits might be getting to the back of the minds of Mousesports here at this point. Console waiting on the other side. He might have seen may have seen the feet passing through. I'm not 100% sure if you would have been able to spot that one out. We'll find out. Feels like he's got a feeling something's going on. Singularity, though, going to be taking their time on this. Again, if there's consistency to aggression, you kind of have to be a little bit cautious. Oh, no. The Tootsies give away the game, and Rops leaps to the opportunity of that.
See Rixo coming in with the AWP, scoped in, ready to battle. See if he can find someone. He's just holding it defensively for now. There's not really anyone to find because Christian is on the other side of the map with his AWP, so it's not going to be an AWP-on-AWP duel. Oscar's hiding on the side, and once again, Singularity are gearing up for this A split. This time around, they could do it from middle, but no. The bomb is going in towards Chris J, who's going to be caught out with a flash in hand, but he gets into safety. Still alive, has to push out, but gets taken out. And now, the opportunity is open to go to B, but they go towards the A side. 2 of them still alive, but 2 are not enough. Not in this situation. Instant out. All alone. And he will not be able to make it. 6 rounds still, coming off of a 1-5 deficit to start with. It's not bad, but it's not good either.
It's just, if this was on the other half, if they'd just done this on the CT half, I'd have been kind of impressed. Like, all right, that's fine. The problem is that now they're going into the harder half for them from what we've seen so far. I find it hard to kind of, see this being a really good positive. I think it's a good recovery from Singularity, definitely. They recovered from a situation that was pretty dire. They certainly really brought some pain towards B, considering LoL was the one who was playing very well. Those splits towards B, they were dominating Chris J on short every single time, it feels like. So that was pretty impressive from them, but it can't, you see the depth again coming through for Mouse, and they just kind of go back to what works, and Oscar really coming through as well. That's something that was worrying me, is that if he was off today, if he was having a quiet game, that could have been terrifying, to be honest. That could have been a really, really bad situation coming into this one, but we'll see. Again, I think we all kind of expect this to be a 2-0, but Singularity aren't going down without a fight, and you've got to respect that.
Definitely, and as you said, like, all the players that we expected to come alive, apart from Oscar, came alive kind of yesterday, didn't really make it, and now everyone's coming together as a unit. We've got Rob's playing really well on map 1, Oscar stepping up map 2, Chris J as well. I would like to give him a shout out for this map as well. He's been playing okay. So everything's kind of working out for them. The question is now, who's going to get this pistol? Because if Singularity gets the first buy round as well, they might get some confidence, and a couple of rounds here could tie us up almost. Let's see how it all plays out.
Fresh gets checked on instantly. Chris J leaps to the chance. Luki playing out dark. It's going to be overwhelmed pretty soon. 2 players facing. Does set up the player coming out from at least jungle to do some damage, but you're into 2v3 after plant situation pretty soon. That late lurk coming through towards middle. It makes it incredibly hard for the CTs to be in a good sort of position. But it's on Oscar whether he wants to play this. He can wait, or he can do this right now. Console goes down, and now Rixo, he's already been spotted earlier this round, and it's a matter of patience and, whether or not Oscar wants to be active or passive in this. He chooses to be active. He gets the job done himself. And Mousesports instantly get off to a good start. Yeah, very good start, and this could prove to be a big problem for Singularity going into the second half of this game. They are going to struggle getting stringing rounds together, struggle in the duels. Refresh his position in the beginning of that, he just gets jump shotted by Chris J perfectly. And it's so hard as a player, I believe, to just be in a situation where you feel you have a good angle and then you're just not getting the shot. You don't even have a chance because someone's just coming in and pre-firing you. It's so hard to come back from that. Rixo trying to hit the shot through the wall, but not doing any damage whatsoever. But I like this. Oscar's basically allowed LoL pretty much free reign to get down towards connector if he wanted to do it. Smoke goes up, they actually fall off this. I'm wondering if they've got a feel of something, if they just heard. I don't know, it's that kind of like in the game feeling where you're just like, oh, maybe they're stacking mid, maybe they've pushed up. Maybe we can just catch them off by actually falling back towards A here. So, again, this could be just that late hit. Smoke smoke to stairs coming through. One towards CT, and a jungle smoke as well. So pretty much a default A smokes coming out any second now. Yep. 2 players ahead of it, just going to play into it. But we've got 1 player close towards ramp, turns it. Luki, that's the shot. No more to be found. No Danish Deagle magic, but not too bad to begin with.
Let's see here as they coming towards the side. 2 Deagles still remaining, and Rixo scout. Close range 5-7 could do a lot of damage as well if he's allowed to come in. But right now, they're still a long way away from that A-bomb site. 2 of them trying to come in from that connect area. Insta has to open it up with his Deagle. Calm before the storm.
Chris J's like, Scout, why are you doing this to me? Leave me alone. Well, they do get spotted. Oscar going to be played in off the back of this. A nice crossfire setup. They're working really well between each other. Oscar and Chris J, really nice. Rops just comes in the end because he wants a damn kill. But really nice setup. Didn't get too threatened. There was no utility to kind of, you know, nade out those corners or push people into uncomfortable positions. Really well played. Singularity so far, they're just having to grind through this, really. It's just kind of that, well, we just got to kind of handle what's being given to us. Can't really bite back yet. Let's just go through this.
All right, so this is the final eco here. Rixo, of course, saving up for the AWP. That means he will be having an AWP in the next round. Winning that opening duel would be perfect for their chances coming into even further rounds here in this half here. But still, we haven't seen him that much on the AWP. We saw him just for a few rounds, grabbing that spur of confidence, getting it back. And since then, it's not really been that good. I'm really looking at Rixo to be one of the difference makers, and Chris J just jumps in.
Does Chris J know this isn't Quake? Like, he's just playing CPMA right now, just like leaping around, just like, this is fine.
Everything. Well, he got insta-gibbed. It's absolutely wrecked.
You could say shafted.
Oh.
Quake puns, it's all I've got, and they sound mildly sexual, so people get really excited. Rops, though, timing on this is going to be fun. 2 players pushing around really slow. He's going to hit the steps now, and he's got such a nice spot. I hate trying to push against that position. Yeah. It's literally vile, but Refresh now last man standing. Looking for X, he's just kind of sitting in CT, hoping someone just walks past and gets maybe a gun away. Good little dink, but you just don't do much damage. There it is, though. Oscar gets found, but in the end, it'll be fine. Gun recovered. All is well for the Mousesports front.
This is a time for Singularity to step back into this game right now. They have the full buy, they have the buy that can either make or break them. They have Rixo on the AWP. They know they're going to be up against a very, very well-drilled Mousesports team, but Mousesports actually not upgrading just yet. So this could be a chance for them to get back in and the extra 10%. Here we go. Rixo starting us off. Oscar goes down.
Just sat there completely blind during that. The flashes were perfect, but it's got the timing.
Yeah.
Really nice stuff. 6-12. North still on the Mac 10. UMP with Chris J. B-Smoke's coming out.
Rob's now on the AWP.
There's 2 players as well already dug in towards B for Singularity. They're not in a bad spot here at all.
See, Rob's just watching, holding that connect area. 2 players in a crossfire setup. On the speed bomb site, they decide to come out of the window. Console actually holding towards B apartments. Normal position now. Molotov's going everywhere.
Absolutely lighting up this bomb site.
Oh!
So is Console. He was having such a good time. He took down Refresh like, don't you dare get a frag. Yeah. These are all mine.
That's the problem of a crossfire setup sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. Look, it's tough, all right? You know, you can't control it all the time. Rob's now left in an impossible task at this point. Going to go all the way back around, but we can just keep hold of this or try and play out of this. But the problem is you've still got so much time left. 40 seconds still to try and play this one out and do anything to keep this on board. It's always tough, but a good shutdown from Singularity. Nice seeing Console again coming into this.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, Singularity just taking 1 player off to go for the hunt. 2 players, of course, holding the bomb just in case he goes for it. And Robs might get caught off guard here. Actually, yeah, a second guy coming in as well.
I think Luki might have heard him.
Yeah, exactly. And called that.
Maybe.
To Rixo.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. No one ever knows. But yeah, actually a really impressive round with Singularity, trying to bounce back into this. Rixo opening up, as we said, and then just a hold on B, everything working out. But then again, we have to focus on the fact that they had a Mac 10 and UMP 45 in this. They're going to buy out full AKs next round, and that's the true test. Because Mousesports can come straight back in and just wreck them now with a full buy.
Yeah, that was so nice from Console.
4 frags, easy.
Yeah, really. 3.5 I'll give him. But so well done. 12-7. We're starting to get a bit of a competitive matchup here. Quick little smoke out towards short. Just allow maybe a peek to come through if they fancy it. Take out those fights. And oh, I like this bit of CT aggression. Getting more of this. Refresh. Here we go. Going walkabouts in towards underpass. And Lol going to try and start playing through that smoke. He's holding the off angle. If anyone tries to push up, he has such an advantage on that. Probably not going to have anyone doing that this time, but player in underpass could be a little bit of a surprise factor for Chris J if he tries to play into it. Certainly is. Chris J goes down. Good connection on that. But falling back might be tricky.
See here, Refresh. Tried to make his way in. Good flashbang coming in from the teammate, but Oscar on the top of mid is not affected by that. Takes him out. 4v4 right now. It's so hard coming out of that position when you know the T's have control of the middle.
Dennis looking for opportunities towards Ladderum. To be found, but a little bit of short control going to be there. Be careful with that molly. Don't want to give away the positioning too much. Singularity splitting themselves to the sides. 2 to B, 2 to A. Rob's still playing out of Palace, and he could be the deciding factor here, but Rixo is still around with the orb, so it could get a little tricky if they go for this hit. They do have one smoke, and that's on Oscar. Let's see how he wants to play this one out as well. He might go for the straight-up fight. He might just try and make a short smoke towards sight. Plenty of opportunities awaiting.
Ooh, Loki has to choose a position now. They have Rixo on CT spawn as well, so he's just going for the defensive. Nice shot by Rixo.
Great work. Dennis going down. Oh, Luki, what is that? You've had an absolute mare. Timing not good. He tried to play out, I guess, as the molly came in, but he just couldn't land the shot. Console, though, going to tip the favor. Certainly making a real impact. Oscar looks so free as he's running around this, though, at the moment. He knows where he's safe and he knows where he's not, but the problem is that he doesn't understand where Console is right now. CT does contain threats, but timing is of the essence. 5 seconds left. Rixo finds Rops, and it's Oscar. It's all on Oscar, and not for long. The pressure is relieved, but not in the way you want. 3 frags for Rixo, and that's the AWPing potential we've just not been seeing until this point.
This is actually looking quite good, because one of the things that I noted from yesterday that Singularity had to improve on in order to compete with Mousesports was that their CT sides are pretty much, well, we only saw one map from them yesterday, but it's also been a thing of the last couple of games that I've been seeing from their CT sides need to improve in order to compete with these kind of teams. That's happening right now. The one thing I think they need now as well is their in-game leader, Insta. He needs to step up frag-wise as well. I think we just saw it there. He was on 6 frags. And it's okay, but if you want to win games against teams like Mousesports, your in-game leader has to be at least close to the other players frag-wise. And you have to be able to count on him in a situation where you're entering a bomb site saying, okay, we think you can actually win this duel. If you're not having that confidence, if you don't believe in that, then the take can just fall apart completely. And Insta, I think, is the last piece to the puzzle they need in order to get a lot of rounds here.
Yeah, it really could be such a big factor. Rixo weighing on the timing, so nice. Rixo, really good work from him. Needs to be careful to not outstay his welcome at this point. It's very easy to push down, but actually bomb plant really good for Mousesports. Lol's going to find Luki as well. Insta flashed up, gets pushed. Oh my god, they're finding opportunities here. Singularity, do not rest on those laurels of yours. Lol does go down, thankfully for their sakes. You felt there was pressure there, possibly. But no armor for Oscar, so limited opportunity, but he's finding it. He's making this happen. He wants this for himself, and now Dennis, your final man for Mousesports. And have you got this one, Dennis? Bomb? Oh, they didn't see him. Oh, God. Where is that bomb planted? Gets himself an AK. Does have the lineup on 1, but no, the diffuser's still coming in. He spams. He prays. He gets it as well. Mousesports win the round. In the final seconds, in the final throes of that matchup. That could have been different, but no, Mouse just get it in the bag. And heartbreak for Singularity.
Can we get a replay on that bomb diffusal? Because that has to be incredibly close. I thought, yeah...
Literally
that was
down to
like,
the last second. If
it was below the last
yeah.
second as well. That was insanely close. Dennis, of course, is the savior. as another round begins, Singularity, of course, these are the rounds you cannot afford to lose. And that has to be heartbreaking for them, because also their economy is forced into a situation where they now have, of course, the double AWP, but 2 pistols.
A weird purchase. Just gone for it.
Yep.
All right. Quick boost towards short, have a little bit of peep up and down, allow the players to come through connector if they want, or to play up themselves towards short. There is a passive hold towards it, that is Rixo there. Refresh now getting pushed down, I'm pretty sure they're going to hear this morning. Here comes the pinch. Oh god, what is happening? Dennis, do we want to talk about it? Do you want a timeout? We can sit down, have a chat, spill the tea, don't worry, but they may not expect Rixo to be here as well. Oh, good molly, forcing him out. They're so meticulous on this. And
now Insta, he's that second AWP, but we don't see him a lot on this team picking up that secondary AWP. But actually back in Source and in the beginning of a go, he actually was the primary AWP of some teams, and this is something he can do as well.
This could be a nice possibility. Rixo, though, finally gets played back in, allowed to come back to short. Desperate to try and fight for that one for so long, but he does get his opportunity to give it a go. Now, where's that bomb? Where's the rest of the pressure? They look like they're going to take the fight, and they win it. Chris J, that's huge. That's B now looking vulnerable. If they can maybe deny Console getting to a good spot early, this could be all theirs. But Luki in the meantime found Rob, so a good situation fought for hard by Singularity.
And still trying to hold the angle here if they want to push the bench. No Terrace doing that so far. It's trying to go for it now, and it's just holding the perfect angle for that. That's absolutely nice from him. Chris J now, 1v3 close range up.
He's got to be an absolute animal right now. And the tendencies are looking good. Console goes. He knows maybe one more's in kitchen because he knows that orb shot came from somewhere. But where's Luki? That's the final piece of the puzzle. He just doesn't know where it is. And he's playing the time. He's baiting the shots. He spots one towards kitchen. He doesn't get the shot off. Luki's there in time. And they will be on the defuse.
So coming off a bye, 2 orcs, 2 pistols, and a UMP-45 with a bit of utility, they managed to make it work. Thanks to, of course, Rixo and Insta on that secondary orb. One thing that's actually does make a lot of sense of why this is finally working out is I think Rixo is finally in a position where he feels confident and he feels like kind of at home here, because he is a very like stable turret kind of CT player, CT orb. He's not going to be on the T side going off usually.
Flashy.
Yeah, he's just holding an angle and then he's hitting the consistent shots. But he's not in a position where he can do that unless he's confident and he's comfortable. And if he's hitting that point now and he can play very well on the CT side with an orb, they have a decent chance here despite them being behind with 4 rounds.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Your most standard of standard B hits coming through at this point. You've got Oscar with the orb, and then here come the Tech 9 saying, ooh, nice molly, hinders everything. That's so good. Yeah, Mousesports is screwed now. You've got to back off this. They can't push through that console, even getting a good couple of tags on the way out. Robs is now low, and Oscar, more importantly, I guess, even though with an orb, you can still operate with a little less HP, but still, not how you wanted to see that one going down. The difference one molly can make, eh?
Mid-control completely open right now. No CTs are guarding it. That means if the terrorists go in now, of course, Oscar looking at it to begin with, checking it, nothing there. And they can get a couple of Ts in that mid. Just hold it for a second, get some boosted positions, get some more map control. And this is where it gets dangerous, because we all know pistols close range in CSGO are absolutely brutal. So if they can hold a close range position and just wait for the CTs to make a mistake, and then rush into a bomb site.
So they've got window control, they've got jungle. There's 2 passive players towards CT. Now, the thing is, they don't know that there's not anyone maybe pushed up on ramp. They've got the player coming to split through Palace, so they know that's clear. So actually, by process of elimination, Mousesports are in a really good spot.
Yep.
And Singularity
They're
don't
not looking
know
for
this.
it. There we
And
go.
oh god, finally the alarm bells ring, and they're a little bit confused, a little bit dazed, a little bit worried as to what's going down. The position's duly noted. Look at this push as well. Brazen as you like. Goes right in for it. Oscar trades out eventually though. Bit of a shame to see him going down too early for just 1 kill. If they can make any more of it, that'd be great, but 18 HP. Rixo still stands, but the bomb is ticking. And now here comes Refresh right through on short. Good pinch timing. And now Dennis and Chris J looking like they want to do the dirty with the Tech 9s, but this could be so tough. Spots a little bit of a hand there, and Chris J just whiffs the shot.
Yeah, it almost got gifted to them. The entire A bomb site got gifted to them. Now Dennis in a position where he can make this happen, but no,
Not
he
again.
does not connect on the bomb diffuser. Singularity will take that round.
I was about to say that you know, it's Dennis in a smoke diffuse situation. We know what happened last time. Let's not repeat this, all right? Singularity is starting to look like they're smiling again. You know, they found their happiness. Don't take it away, Dennis. Don't be like that. Let them have a nice time. Let's have a good game here. 10-13. This match is way closer than I thought it would be. Really delivering on all fronts here, Singularity. Considering they were the team who came in that, you know, generally shouldn't be the ones to be providing these sort of matchups, they've really put up a fight so far.
In every single match they played, in my opinion, of course they fell short against SK in that second half, but the first half was very competitive. First map here, incredibly competitive. And now the second map as well. Like, they're getting above 10 rounds against Mousesports. 2 maps in a row, already there.
Now, take what you want from it. Either it's a good thing for Singularity or Mousesports are playing pretty poorly. And, you know, I'm going to look at the positive side of things. That's not great for Refresh, sadly. Him going down early is going to open up so many pathways now for Mousesports. I don't know if they're going to expect consoles to still be this close, but Dennis seems aware it's a possibility. Now he knows. But still, this is it's impressive to see Singularity able to do this. I think generally for Mousesports, it's probably not, you know, them on their high point. We know what they can be like on their high point. But still, to put a team into this position, you can't take anything away. Now, Rixo, again, put to the test here if they do go to that A play, and we do have a play towards ramp. And that's the shot. Rops there, going to find Rixo real easy. And the slow play towards B for Dennis. He's going to hear the steps, surely. He's going to hear Console doing this. Yeah, he does. Hello. Goodbye. And there we go. B is his. Oh, did he spot him in kitchen fast enough? I don't think he did. Insta's very quick to this, and they might be caught unawares slightly. Because, yeah, Dennis is not aware of this possibility, but Oscar instantly looks at it like, hey, Dennis, there's a guy right next to you. Can you actually get kitchen, please?
Nope.
Yeah, Lucky now last alive, and that AWP is not looking like it's going to get put to much action.
And that was actually a really, really nice B take coming out from Mousesports, starting, of course, with the fact that they got refresh and then got shot control. And I think it was Console who was forced back after firing a few bullets into the smoke. Of course, I would probably have preferred him to hold that smoke and not make any sound. And now comes the timeout. I was about to say, they need to take a timeout now because they've come back into the game. Out of the last 5, they've won 4 and then they're losing this one. So they need to make sure that everything is on point because Mousesports are going to be in 14 now. You're going to have decent money and you can't give up anything right now. You want to win every single round from now on to take this map. And this is why they need their strategies or their not their executes, but their setups and their rotations to be absolutely on point right now. And I think it's a great time to take a timeout.
Yeah, it's good as well to keep the momentum away from Mousesports.
Yes.
You don't want to let them start to fill out the game and just start running away with it. If I like that game, they won on all fronts, which is the scary part. It wasn't just like, oh, this is our set piece that's worked really well. They just literally won throughout the map. Rob's hitting that crazy shot. It's starting to look good for them individually, starting to warm into this maybe a little more. But again, I don't want to take anything away from Singularity. They've proven that they're going from strength to strength here. Hopefully we can see more from them coming up in the next couple of games, but I very much doubt that's going to be a possibility, at least into this one. I doubt we're going to get to a third map unless they come up with something very, very good here. They need some incredible plan. It looks like they went to the double AWPs. It worked initially for a little while. I think Rixo got away with a lot towards short. I think that was very impressive what he was able to achieve, but I don't know if we're going to see that again.
Let's see what kind of buy they will be rocking. At least one of the players on 1400. And he's going to be buying all the way down, I think. I think most of them will be buying all the way down. They had one player with 1900 and one player with 1400 before buying, and of course they just got they just lost that round and saved one weapon, so they could be forcing around the AWP. It's still a possibility, and I think that's the best opportunity for them right now, because they can't let Mousesports get on that 15th round. They have to battle for it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, Singularity don't have that coach. If you guys are just tuning in and you're wondering, who's that guy behind him and why does he not have a headset on? He's not their coach. Yeah. He's just the team owner, right?
He's just the team owner, because of course, it's great to have someone to maybe give you a little bit of momentum, but he's not going to be able to say, okay, guys, I looked over all the stuff that you didn't see. I've been watching. You need to change this, blah, blah, blah. They're doing this when they're doing B takes and having like the whole strat book. As we saw pretty much every single team here have a guy standing behind them every single time there's a timeout, feeding them information on the opposite team, on what the team themselves are doing wrong. They don't have that. And that's a big loss.
It really is. It could be great for these timeouts. Now, last time we saw, actually on Nuke, the first map after the timeout that was called by Singularity, they were still able to pull back some rounds, so do not write them out of this one just yet. They need to bring their A game now, because right on the verge of his Mousesports, they could close this one out in just a couple of rounds here now. On 14-10, a good position, finally building back into this game on the T side. It was a little bit of a rocky road for a while, but it started to look far greater for themselves. Now Singularity, back to the wall CS needs to begin here, and they need to start delivering on all fronts.
So with the AWP once again. Rest of the team bang up around it, but Chris J looking for Lucky. Taking out part 1 of that aggressive push towards Ramp and just stops it completely. Now Rob's holding close range with the smoke. This is a great advantage, and this is one of the general rules of playing T-side. If you get that first advantage, then just regroup. Don't peek into it and just hit the side, because you're always going to have at least 1, maybe 2-man advantages. Robs doesn't care about logic though, but actually I kind of like just waiting for it slowly while his team is regrouping. He's playing that lurker role, but still, the rest of the team regrouping, just not peeking, let Robs do what he wants, and then we set up for the B take.
It's so nice, but Refresh in a position they might not expect it, because they already took down 1 towards B. They took down Console, who's been pretty much the solo man on this. Now Refresh knows there's 1 on short. He's going to hear the guys dropping. Where do you take your fight? You've got 2 bullets left in the clip. Get that reload. He can't. Christian catches him free, has a chance to. With a leap and a jump, the bomb goes down, planted for short, and it's insta. 47 HP and a bit of a dream hit to deny Mousesports getting onto match point. Not just map point, match point.
Molotov and Chris J, no smoke on insta. This could be a problem, and he's going to hide in B apartments, so this is very hard to see how insta can come out on top.
You can also wallbang exactly where it's planted, but there's
so
many things that are horrible for insta here. You're desperate for that quick kill. You want to just like molly off an area and go for it, but he's not getting that. No one's allowing him this, so he's going to molly off towards short. That will at least keep 1 at bay, but he can't do it. Dennis plays through the fire and the flames, and he'll get them on towards match point. Not even a smile on Oscar's face. This is business and nothing more.
Yeah, Oscar's on point right now.
Nice. I do want to highlight as well, though, something about Rops. The fact is that he actually plays through ramp on the lurk. It's kind of rare. You look at like players like, I think Molly was one of the players who used to do it towards A, especially on Mirage. Plays through Palace. He'd always kind of be finding the pressure point really well, playing out towards it, always making it really uncomfortable. But it's nice to see someone finding a new way of doing this. Rops really making it awkward to play against. But the problem is, it's 15 to 10 now risk. The money's depleted. Now, I like the Julies, but I don't know if this is going to save them.
But actually, to catch up on the Rob's point, as it seems like Mousesports are not really pushing so far. When you play something, again, like when you try to counter the logic, they know that he's on ramp. So they don't expect him to peek out of the smoke. They were looking towards connector, towards other angles.
And look at this round, up in Palace.
Exactly.
So nice, so much variety to the way you're doing it. They can never play
exactly.
against it.
And that's a great part, because when you want to play that lurk, you want to think about what are the opponents doing, where they're looking. I want to come in from a position that's not there. And that's what Robs is really good at, I think, and that's what's very impressive about him being so young. He has incredible game sense, and he knows how to put himself into the mind of the opponent, and that's the most important skill of a good lurk, in my opinion.
All right, so we're going to go for that mid-play coming through. Refresh did find Lol, so he sees what's coming, and he's going to see Chris J as well, who does have the bomb, so they've got a good idea of where the play's coming through from. But Singularity don't have the arsenal to really fight against this. They only have Deagles, they have UMPs, they have dual elites, and that Molly did damage. Oh, what a little shot coming out from Rixo, though. That's going to put the bomb in a real predicament. Insta now playing off the back of it. He's desperate to do more, though. He wants to save his team. And Insta's there with the UMP. It's everything you dream of if you're Singularity. And now Rops, the young man, the Estonian, needs to be cool, calm, and collected and find his way back into this round. But now he's got real opportunities up against him. They've got guns now. Insta's got himself a rifle, a Molly, a smoke, and that bomb. So many threats contained in every single angle. Lovely crossfire, and of course, the dual elites come in.
Despite having cool as his literal last name, he was not cool,
Such a sick name,
cool and collected enough. That's like, I don't know how much respect you get on the playground for that, but that has to be huge amounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, really nice round from Singularity. They're bouncing back, literally standing on the edge of the mountain, on the edge of the cliff, almost falling down, and then just takes a step back. Not going to do that just yet. Economy-wise, it actually forces two of the players on Mousesports and pistols, which is okay because they can...
Low, all right? Have you seen that P250?
That P250 is straight up 3 kills every single time. But actually, in this situation where he plays, let's say, behind an AK or behind an AWP, if that opening entry doesn't get that kill, he can pick that weapon up and then there's no problem because Lau still has the armor, still has some utility.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine for him. Mousesports again, slower approach, very, very passive. Looking maybe to punish if anyone tries to go walkabouts on Singularity, but they're also giving away nothing. They still retain map control basically everywhere. The one place they don't know is Palace, if anyone just randomly walk up there. Console pushed up towards B, that's something that's going to buy a bit of time. But they can easily play back in. It might just cost them utility. It might just use a Molly or a flash or, you know, a little bit of something to try and clear it out. There you go, Molly. And Oscar going to flash in Chris J, I can imagine at this point. There he goes. Flash goes through. Chris J decides to toast himself a little bit, but yeah, checks in. No one's really here. He might need to be careful of the close walls just in case he's got to worry, but he doesn't. So now B's clear. That's you know, part of the checklist done. All right, it forced him back. That's fine. Where do we go now?
That's a question. Right now, 2 players looking towards ramp, and it's the 2 pistol players towards ramp. The rest of the team situated in mid and B apartments. So could be an A split, could be a fake A, then go B. Let's see.
Rixo plays well for you. Rops this time not going to have the success we've seen him having in the prior rounds. Insta as well, aware this could be a possibility, but look at that bomb. Yep. It's so well done. But there's still 2 players here. So Console and Refresh. Refresh going to spot 1 there towards Short. He knows there's more. He knows there's pressure coming in, but he's got to keep his teammates safe. And Console is fighting for his life. And look at the time. Down to 6 seconds. They're running out of time as we speak. Bomb goes down. That's a round done. It doesn't matter about the kills now. Oscar can't find 3 in the last 2 seconds. And even loses out on the AWP. Singularity. That's the fight, and that's Oscar looking frustrated.
They did not buy that fake for 1 second. Those 2 players on B side did not flinch as 2 players came in from M. That, in general, it's a good idea if you have 2 players who are only on pistols. Just go and throw them as the fake, and then the rest of the guys go with full weaponry towards the other bomb site. But none of the Singularity players bought that. They held their ground, and they held that bomb site. Full eco now for Mouse.
Rixo again.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's still eco frags, but still... the reaction time on Rixo.
That's good for Rixo. You know, this guy had a very quiet first map. He wasn't exactly, you know, nailing people on nuke. So for him, it's got to feel great to actually be able to do this sort of play and actually find some shots and start to feel confident about himself. So credit to him to be able to recover like this. And now for Mousesports, finding a bomb plant is pretty much the only plan you're going to get away with. Nothing else really.
He's actually gone from a pretty quiet first half to top frag for Singularity. He's on 21 to 20 right now. Of course, Oscar's still sitting on 27, so he's just wrecking everyone. But still, Rexo to come back from that, actually 22 now. Really nice from him. Insta's also moved up a bit. He's not as far behind, so all the things that Singularity need in order to make this incredibly close game are slowly happening. The CT side as well, that was the kind of last puzzle as a team they needed. And this is happening now as well, so Singularity, even if they potentially lose this very close again, we have to say they've played very well.
Yeah, you hate to lose, but you can be sometimes proud of what you can achieve throughout a game. But hey, they haven't lost yet.
Nope.
Rookie,
definitely gonna get this.
Yeah, this is a given. It was more, can they maybe get a bomb plant? That was more about what we were excited for. But the next, not necessarily problem, but it's always the theories and always the issue in the back of your mind is we can't make mistakes. That's always going to be the problem. When you're against 15 rounds, 0 errors can occur. So even just like an individual having just a bad round, you know, sometimes you will miss a shot. It's even pros will occasionally just have one problem. Oh, Mousesports are going up on the buy here. Here we go.
Okay, this
whatever they can get. It's so limited as well. Look at this. It looks so...
I'm pretty sure one of the players had enough money to drop for Dennis. If I'm not mistaken. I could be blind, but... Nope, I was blind. He bought an AK for himself. My bad. Then, okay, it's just a normal Tech 9. And he's just running out, clearing everything, and his team is following.
Yeah, but he made noise first, right? He shot the Tech 9, so I guess maybe they were thinking it was only Tech 9, but it doesn't really matter because they're holding back passive. They're playing smart on this one. Oh, refresh as well. Perfect timing. Rops gets destroyed, and it's Oscar now left to try and pick up the pieces. Lol's with him, but they're not giving opportunities over. Oscar has to fight for every pixel he gets to see here, and in such a dire position too. I hate being stuck in this spot, and Fresh so close by as well. Smoke goes in. Oscar lets a shot fly, but it doesn't connect. Now, bomb gonna go down. I don't think I'm gonna really stop that right now. And that's planted kind of looking like it's for ramp, so Oscar's gonna get himself over there. Actually play out from Tetris, and Lol's gonna play from Dark. Not a perfect crossfire, but it's something they're gonna have to deal with at this point.
Mousesports pulled all their money into this. 3 players and $0 right now. If they lose this, this might be the opportunity for Singularity to take it into overtime. Let's see 4v2 retake. Oscar has to come out huge.
Lol finds one. Great work towards console. Spots one, pushing out towards jungle. That's going to be the call. It's made. Lol, that's 3, and it's just down to Oscar. All you have to do is stop that defuse. One more shot. Oh, the knife will do the job just fine. And it's Mousesports to close out the game by a whisker. A very close matchup between these two. Singularity, they can keep their heads held high. You never want to lose, obviously. It's never something you dream of doing. But they put up such a valiant fight. But Mousesports and the man on your screen right now, Lol, had a sick game.
Yeah, and one thing to note, he didn't get a lot of frags, but almost every single one of his frags were high-impact frags.
Yeah.
That's very, very important to get a play like that. Of course, we have to highlight Oscar ending it with a knife kill. He ended almost on 30 frags, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely just wrecked them, but we have to say nonetheless. Singularity, great performance, was not enough, but still, great performance.
Yeah, no, they can be proud of what they've achieved here. Obviously, they'll want to do more. They'll want to go further in the next tournaments. But then to come in here through the European qualifier, they're the team that's probably the one to get kind of more bullied around in that group, right? They really fought hard on this one. But it's good to see some of the individuals from Mousesports starting to really play the game that you wanted to see. We started to see Robs finding his sort of style coming through in that game a little bit more. Lol came alive. Oscar delivering. Again, something that Pim said, and I think it highlights it very well, is even if Mousesports have a bad game, it's very rare you see Oscar not being able to deliver. Yeah. Normally, he's always right.
And it's very good for the tournament as well, because we saw Oscar being very slow on day 1. Now it seems like he's waking up here. He's getting that top frag position. And now he can go further into this tournament, into maybe, let's say, tougher opponents in the next coming rounds. And they need Oscar to be absolutely on point in order to do battle there.
No, true. Absolutely true. There's a lot of factors with Mousesports. Always, you feel like they've got to be in the right place. You got to get it, going for themselves. But that looked much, much better. Close games, though. If you're Mousesports, you probably want clearer cut games for yourselves to feel more and more confident. But still, going forward, it's a very tough. it gets tougher from now on. Let's be honest. But we do need to find out if Parler is ready. He's just chilling. He's got the turtleneck on. I'm just making sure. I worry.
Looking out for the boy. Of course.
Look, we're all able to look out for Parler. You see him walking by, it's like, damn. It's it does seem as though he's ready. So guys, I'm sorry that we've been on camera too long and we've kept you away from Parler, and no longer will that be the case. Let's head down and hear from him now.
Thank you so much, Pansy, for that. Chris J, congratulations. You took out Singularity there, but they were pretty formidable at times. Did you think that was maybe closer than it was going to be in your head?
Well, to be honest, since they played quite good against SK, I was quite sure they were not going to be like pushovers, and I think they showed it again. They play good, they play strategically very well, and maybe they still kind of caught us off guard with that. I mean, both maps were like really close, and now in Mirage, the last round, I mean, usually you don't win that round, so yeah.
That was it 2 versus 4 in that final round, and then it all came down to a knife in the smoke. Was your heart beating out of your chest?
Well, not that, but I was hoping Tommy would win it. But I think that's like maybe the inexperience of Singularity showing a bit through, not playing that retake so well. I mean, there's no way my 2 guys can win it. I mean, obviously they put off some nice shots, but still.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be disappointed in the way that last round went, but credit where credit is due. They did manage to have a pretty good tournament here, and I think they do have something to be proud of. Now, Chris, I'm sure you're feeling pretty proud now, but maybe yesterday not so much. What happened against the Immortals?
Honestly, the Immortals surprised us really a lot, and specifically KNG. I mean, the guy played like out of his mind. We felt we didn't play Cobble as good as we usually do. We felt we made mistakes. I made some pretty random calls on T side, which didn't really help us. But still can't take anything away from them. I mean, KNG is like fitting in the team like extremely well. He's playing really sick. He also played sick against SK, so yeah, credits to them.
What team was that you just mentioned? SK? You might be playing them later today, I hear. What are you thinking about that?
I'm excited to play them. I mean, we played them in the playoffs in Pro League finals in Dallas. That didn't went so well for us. We felt like we kind of threw a lot of rounds, so I'm happy to play them again and show that we can do better.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to beat them now to progress further. There's not a second chance. It will be the last call, so to speak. And so, do you feel extra pressure because of that, or do you just treat it like any other game and take it as it comes?
We take it as it comes, for sure. I mean, as well, we see like the DreamHack a bit as a warm-up to like the ES1 Cologne and the major qualifier. So we're trying to play our best game here, but we're also like really using it as a tournament to fix our mistakes at the bootcamp we have next weekend.
I mean, you guys had a reasonably good performance at Tour, and so coming into here, maybe that momentum can continue, and you might be able to take out SK and move on further in the competition. Chris, thank you so much for talking to me. Would you like to say anything to anybody out there watching, the crowd, anyone online?
Thanks for watching and thanks for supporting us.
There we go, guys. Give it up for Chris J and Mousesports. They will be moving forward in the competition to play SK later today. Now let's head over to the Corsair analyst desk to break everything down.
Thank you so much, Parler there with Chris J. And also stating that this is going to be somewhat of a warm-up, a ramp-up, because there is so much Counter-Strike on the way, and this is a fantastic opportunity for world-class opponents playing their heart out and a cheeky 100,000 on the line as well. That is what the DreamHack ASTRO Open is all about, and Singularity have fallen. That will be our first port of call. I say we, myself, Machine, joined by Halvor Vendetta Gudestol, and I've got cocky because I used all their names, Jacob Pimp Vinegar. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Gents, Singularity do it again. We said this was going to happen. Day one, they get just out of reach of SK, just narrow of the double digits, and now even better versus Mousesports. That looked like overtime. We'll talk about that last round first of all. Inexperience, Pimp, is that what that is, or is that just Lau being nuts?
A bit of both, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
column A, column B.
Yeah, exactly, Leo. I feel throughout the game that the Singularity actually played well. We talked about the first map being Nuke. You know, they had a chance there. I really felt they had a fighting chance. Mirage, maybe not so much. They were, like, Mousesports had a great lead. Singularity came back, but it was meant to be Mousesports all the way. I feel when you go into clutch situations like 4-on-2, when you're pressured, when you are inexperienced and you face players like Lowell and Oscar, it's sometimes like it's out of your hands. You know, it's you can't do better than they did. It's something you have to learn, and it's something that takes years to learn. So none offense against Singularity, they played well. It's just how it is.
It's just how it is. 16-14 Nuke, 16-13 Mirage.
Definitely close bouts. And honestly, Singularity did have multiple instances where they, again, could have righted the wrongs and actually...
Does anything stand out?
Stuck away with one. Well, if you go back to Nuke, obviously the fact that they're able to, you know, break the economy on their CT side, they go up to 4-on-1, lose to the force buy coming in from Mousesports right after. So instead of having a good streak where you get up to maybe 7-1 and you actually get a pretty decent CT half, it all crumbles. They end up having a pretty terrible CT side altogether. And they managed to bring it back, and that was kind of the cool thing. Chris mentioned it in the interview that Singularity as a whole of a team play really well strategically.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something that you want to take with you going forward. But they obviously have a couple of issues, and this is very typical for inexperienced teams. Like, they do drop a lot of anti-ecos. We saw that on Mirage as well. On Nuke, it kind of balanced out because Mousesports somehow managed to fluff a 1v3 where they just kind of forgot to defuse. I don't know really what happened, but in the end, obviously, you're going to get punished for mistakes like that versus better opponents, or assumed better opponents at least.
Absolutely. One of the players that you mentioned in the pre-match, the preamble, was the Oscar, and suggesting that despite win or lose, he does seem to be a quite consistent presence, a force to be reckoned with. We've got some of his highlights here, but it does not necessarily just the AWP that he was delivering with in this game.
This was Oscar special, you know. He was just insane, and he does that against like opponents like Singularity on a less good level. You know, that one is insane. That Tech 9 kill right there, you know. It's just insane, and Oscar does that against all teams.
Yeah.
He does it against Tier 1 teams, he does it against Tier 2 teams, and Tier 3 teams. He's so consistent in his performance, which is why his stats are so consistently good. And it was just like great to see Oscar play like this, because this leads up to a great rematch between Mousesports and SK later on.
Yeah.
Because if there's no Oscar playing well for Mousesports, then there's going to be no match later on.
When you watch him play, do you see the usually mentioned, when you talk about a player that's risen through the ranks, such as, you know, FPL, they're quite similar story to Rops, and not necessarily the fact that he does have history prior to that, but also he was just running around bopping heads and finally once again returned to CSGO. Do you not think there's some bad habits usually attached to players like that that are just all show, dropping frags? Is there a lack of discipline there, or does Oscar not have that?
There probably is, but that's something he has to learn throughout his career, you know. And I feel like people, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, if you play a lot of FPL, you will have bad habits, you will have, there's some elements of the game that you will probably not understand as well as some of the other of us. But then again, Oscar is so insane with his aim, you know, so what he doesn't have there, he takes from his aim, you know, and he can still learn, like all players, even Cold Zero, you know, we talk about him as maybe the all-time best player. He still talks about how he learned from every single practice, and all players can do that.
Yeah, it's the thing for the case of Oscar, though, it is a bit unique. But because of the fact that he did have a past in 1.6, playing for Defeaters, even played CSGO initially as well.
How long was that, though? It was quite a short stint.
Yeah, pretty much played like 2013, then took a 2-year break, and then came back and was just godlike for some reason.
Yeah.
So it didn't really have a dip in form in that sense. But yeah, no, it's in terms of like, picking up bad habits, I think it's hard for you to pick up too many bad habits when you've already played the game for about 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And you already played, you know, in competitive teams as is in previous iterations. So at that point, I think you're kind of set in stone as to, you know, what kind of tendencies you have and whatnot. So I don't think that's as big of an issue for a guy like Oscar as it would be for potentially for someone like Rops.
Right. Which, I mean, yeah, Rops' final port of call is that Mousesports do continue. They play against SK, and this hasn't been as mind-blowing from Rops as we perhaps were anticipating yet. But this is offline. Some of the world's best teams. He's showing that he can pick up wins without Rops, with Oscar. You know, they take it in turns at this point.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of been the key thread, really, and you know, the hot topic with Mousesports ever since Nico left, the fact that everybody's been able to have those kinds of games where they contribute and everything. And during Pro League, Rops was doing that more so than what he's been doing so far at DreamHack. But you know, that doesn't mean that Mousesports necessarily fall too much in level, because you do have then Lowell having a great game, Chris J having a great game like he had on Nuke, or Dennis, you know, having crucial rounds here and there to pick up those impact frags that really matter. So overall, as a team, they just perform better as it is right now. So it's not necessarily a massive downfall if Rops doesn't necessarily have great games all the time.
Well, we do get to see more from Mousesports, so we'll be talking more about them later. In fact, they'll be taking on none other than SK when we do come back from a break, and a couple of more games of Counter-Strike in between. Gambit Cloud9 is up next. We get to see the North Americans trying to join CLG. That's right, CLG already in that semi-final. Big surprise for both them and their opponents. Spectacular performance versus Fnatic. You'll see more of them as well today. But after the break, we do jump straight on in to Gambit versus Cloud9. Another best of 3 for you to dig your teeth into. Do be sure to tell your friends, and also tell them about the app that enables you to follow all of your favorite players and teams. It's called Strafe. We're going to give you a little walkthrough of what it does enable you to do after this break. But there it is. Enables you to go ahead and keep track of live scores as well as the highlights and when those streams do go live. So go grab it on your phone, iOS and Android. And when we come back, Cloud9 Gambit does begin.